Artemis Prime here on your Prime Power Hour. I come here every Sunday at 10 a.m. to give you tools of spiritual business mastery so you can create the ideas and systems that flow and build the business and life you love. Now, today's topic is on the Mastermind. I'm headed to Dallas, Texas next week for 4 days. And why am I taking 4 days out of my business to go be in a room with 2,500 crazy entrepreneurs, agents, and leaders? What does that do? What is the Mastermind? Today's class is on how to mastermind to create major success breakthroughs in your time, team, and transformation. Now, the principle of the Mastermind goes way, way back. So if you're watching this on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, comment below, type it in the chat, like, share, subscribe. Tell me where you are watching this from because I want to engage with you today. If you have questions about how to build your own mastermind, what people to connect to, what resources, books, audios. I've been an entrepreneur for over 12 years. I have multiple businesses. And when I learned this principle about the mastermind from my mentor, KT, it was about 12 years ago. Hey, Bradford Page. And my mentor, KT, 12 years ago, I was broke and $80,000 in debt. Now I own multiple businesses and I'm surrounded by the most amazing mentors and teachers on the planet to create health, wealth, contribution, and purpose. And when I learned this principle 12 years ago, it literally changed my life. The principle of the mastermind. And I'm going to talk about today, why is the mastermind important? Why would you want to have a mastermind? And do you need people to have mastermind? I'm going to break down the 3 levels of mind in the Freedom Agent formula. So we'll talk about the subconscious, conscious, and superconscious, and how you can mastermind with your superconscious first. You don't necessarily need a large group of people or even a business or a team to mastermind with. You can start masterminding with your own connection to your superconscious mind. So I'm going to break down those 3 minds and how we start to connect with the superconscious mastermind, and then how that superconscious connection then translates to larger and larger masterminds that you may attract or seek out. If you're an agent watching this, if you're a broker watching this, if you're an entrepreneur, if you don't have a business, this principle is so important. When I found this material, this is the Law of Success in 16 Lessons, the 1925 manuscript lessons. It's called the Ogden edition. This is the original edition of Napoleon Hill's Law of Success. Before he wrote Think and Grow Rich, he wrote this book. And this is the little insert from the book. And there's actually a picture in here of what the manuscripts look like. They were leather-bound manuscripts that Napoleon wrote over 100 years ago. Well, almost 100 years ago, 1925. And let me see if I can find the pictures. Yeah, here they are. Here they are. Those are the original Law of Success manuscripts. Leather-bound. He printed out 50 copies. And this was a 25-year study of the most successful people on the planet in the 20th century. We're talking Harvey Firestone, Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Andrew Carnegie. And Napoleon was commissioned by Andrew Carnegie to do a study on the philosophy of success. I'm going to read to you from page 8 of this book, where he says, when I went to see Mr. Andrew Carnegie in 1908, now Andrew Carnegie was the owner of U.S. Steel. That was the largest corporation in 1908. And he was the wealthiest man in the world, Andrew Carnegie, owner of U.S. Steel. And Andrew Carnegie said, or Napoleon said, I went there to write a story about him. He gave me 3 hours. And when the 3 hours were up, he said, now this interview is just the beginning. Andrew Carnegie continues to say, come down to the house and stay all night, and we can take it up after dinner. Napoleon said, I was glad he said, come down to the house, because if he had said, go over to the hotel and come back tomorrow, I would have been sunk, because I had just enough money in my pocket to pay my way back to Washington, D.C. So Napoleon was almost flat broke, and Andrew Carnegie invited him to stay the night. After dinner, he started in and said, now, what this world needs is a new philosophy based on the know-how of men like myself who have learned by trial and error methods that will help people succeed and the methods that will help them overcome adversity. He told me how long it would take to organize the philosophy, whose help he would have to have, and what it would do for unborn generations. Here we are, 10 generations later, and I'm reading you from these pages. It's amazing. and certainly what it would do for men who organized it. He built up one of the most beautiful pictures I ever saw and wondered, why was he doing that? Why was Andrew Carnegie asking Napoleon Hill to do a 20-year study? Well, I found out at the end of the third day, Andrew Carnegie said, now I've been talking to you for 3 days about this new philosophy, about the need for it, and about where the information can be had to organize it. I wish to ask you a question, and don't answer the question until you make up your mind whether it's yes or no. Andrew says, if I commission you to become the author of this philosophy, give you a letter of introduction to men whose help you have to have, are you willing to devote 20 years to the research? It took Napoleon Hill 20 years. Could you imagine dedicating 20 years of your life? Comment below. Like, what would you dedicate 20 years of your life to do? And how much would that have an impact to your legacy, to the people around you, to the world? Like Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, The Law of Success, and now he's got another book, Outwitting the Devil. Like, his work is going to live forever. 20 years. Can you imagine if someone asked you to do a 20-year project? People have attention spans of 6 to 9 seconds now. And here was Napoleon Hill in the early 1900s, commissioned from 1908. It took him 20 years traveling all over the world, meeting Andrew Carnegie's best friends in his own mastermind, to distill the knowledge in the Law of Success in 16 lessons. And when Napoleon Hill got to Henry Ford, and Henry Ford was the founder of Ford Motor Company, which soon became one of the larger corporations, $1 billion corporation. Now, $1 billion is now $1 trillion today. So Henry Ford had a $1 billion corporation, Ford Motor Company. And when Napoleon Hill interviewed Henry Ford, he asked Henry Ford, who was personal friends with Andrew Carnegie and mastermind with Andrew Carnegie, he asked Henry Ford, so what's your secret? Like, how did you become so successful? How did you face so much adversity? Because when Henry Ford developed the Model T and the automobile, everyone was looking for faster horses, faster carriages. They were trying to make horses and carriages faster. Henry Ford had a concept completely outside the box, an automobile to replace the carriage and the horse. And he did it. He had to face a lot of criticism, judgment, condemnation, and adversity, like all great visionaries do. And Napoleon Hill, and I remember reading this and understanding the importance of a mastermind. He asked Henry Ford, how did you do it? How did you overcome all that adversity and build Ford Motor Company? And Henry Ford said, it's the relationship I have with my wife. It's the mastermind he had with his beloved. So you can have a mastermind with your superconscious mind. You can have a mastermind with your partner, your wife, if there is harmony between you two towards a definite purpose. So Napoleon defines a mastermind, and I'm paraphrasing, when two or more are gathered in harmony towards the achievement of a definite aim or purpose. So that's it. When two or more are gathered in harmony. Now that's the key word about forming a mastermind, is that there needs to be harmony. Harmony with your subconscious, conscious, and superconscious. And in the superconscious, which is vision, insight, intuition, there is a purpose. There's a purpose to your vision. There's a purpose to your connection to your vision. There's a purpose within that vision that other people who have similar visions start to connect with. And so if you do have a marriage and you don't have alignment towards a definite purpose, if you don't have harmony, then you don't have a mastermind. And it may be time for you to get into harmony. It may be time for you to start talking about your future and your purpose of the marriage so that you can access these higher laws. Comment below if you have any questions, or if you're watching this and you're like, is this real? Like, is the mastermind real? Like, can I really have a mastermind with my wife? Can I really have a mastermind with my superconscious mind? Like, how do I do this? And I want to let you know that there's magic all around us. Like, when you connect to your superconscious, when you connect to your vision, intuition, and insight, inner sight, it's magic. But then there's all these things that get in the way: fear, doubt, procrastination, self-sabotage, your ego, your fear of what other people think of you, fear of lack, fear of judgment. Like, there's all these things that get in the way. But right outside of the fear of of what it, can be seen with the five senses is your supernatural connection to your superconscious mind. And when you form a mastermind with your superconscious, when you form a mastermind with your beloved, when you form a mastermind with others, you need to have harmony with yourself first. You need to have a certain harmony with your own vision. When I'm coaching agents all over the world now, and when I coach agents, I ask them, where do you see yourselves in 1 year and 10 years? And what is your deeper purpose? What are your values, your vision, your purpose? And how can you connect that to your business? And that begins the journey inward. There's another book here called The Art of True Healing by Israel Regardie. This is a great book. This is also a great book, The Law of Success in 16 Lessons. It's a dense book, so I don't recommend thinking you can finish this book in a week, but maybe in a month or two you could finish this book. I've read it twice. Let me read you from this book, The Art of True Healing, because Israel Regardie and Napoleon Hill are saying essentially the same thing. He says right here, within every man and woman is a force that directs and controls the entire course of life. Properly used, this force can heal every affliction and ailment we have. Now I'll add to that, there is a force within us and around us, the mastermind, that controls the entire course of life. And properly used, this force can help us achieve any goal we desire. Anything we can conceive and believe we can achieve, properly harnessing this magical force. And this magical force is inside of us, and it's all around us. And it's what we know as the superconscious. So let's talk about the 3 levels of mind, and then we're going to go back to the mastermind. And if you like this material, give me some comments below. Let me know what you think of this. Also comment below and ask me what you'd like to learn more of in spiritual business mastery. Like, where are you stuck? What are you seeking to gain greater insight on? Where do you want to grow in your real estate business? And how do you want to build more of this power in your business? How do you want to cultivate this? Because there's many different ways we can cultivate connections to the superconscious, the conscious, and the subconscious. So these are all mind. These are the 3 levels of your mind. And coming into harmony with these brings that into the mastermind. And so it's important you understand who you are from your 3 levels. And so in ancient Hawaii, there was a spiritual tradition called the Huna. And the Kahuna masters of Hawaii were the Kahuna, which means keepers of the secret. And the Kahuna had a prophecy 900 years ago. They said that all secrets will be known, and then that will create the next golden age of peace and enlightenment. And I believe that we're entering that golden age, and it's time to bring these principles back into business and teach entrepreneurs, agents, brokers, teams, and you watching to become conscious, to bring spiritual laws into their business and to teach spiritual laws in business so that spirituality and business become one again, because that's how we start to create a holistic model. Everything is so fragmented and divided and separated. And if we get into a holistic model of business, we can start helping entrepreneurs remember that they're already whole and that they have a superconscious, conscious, and subconscious mind. And these aren't separate, they're one. But for the purposes of education, we're going to talk about what these mean in your life. And the Kahuna tradition, they called the subconscious mind the lower self. So your subconscious is your lower self. And that's it's like connected to your feelings. Hold on, my light's getting a little tricky here. All right, here we go. Yeah, so your subconscious mind is connected to your feelings. You access the subconscious mind through feeling. Everyone say, I feel. I feel. Say that with me. I feel. That's your subconscious. This is also runs your body. Your subconscious mind is your autonomic nervous system. It's your feeling world. It's also connected to what you believe, whether that's conscious or unconscious. So for example, if life has been a struggle and you think you have to work hard for your money and you think money is hard, then you may have programmed a belief system in your subconscious that it takes a long time and it's hard. You can change that in the subconscious too. It's easy. Or money flows to me easily and effortlessly. Or I have confidence. I believe in me. You can shift how you feel about your business by shifting the subconscious. The conscious mind is your will, your word, and your actions. It's the driver of the ship of your life. This is I speak, I think, I act. This is I feel, this is I act, or I choose. Superconscious mind is your higher mind. It is also your genius. Your superconscious mind is your genius. Your superconscious mind is also your intuition and your insight and your vision. Your superconscious mind is also connected to I am. So you have I am, you have I think, and also choose. And then you have I feel. Now, do you have emotions? Do you have feelings? Yes. Do you have thoughts, choices, actions? Every day you can choose. Do you have an I am? And this is where it gets mystical. And this is where it also gets scriptural too, because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. And what was the Word? I am that I am. And so every one of us has a superconscious I am. And oftentimes when we're starting to create a business, or we're starting to create relationships, or we're starting to create health, or whatever we're choosing to create, there's a misalignment of these three levels. You know, you can think one thing and you can feel another. And are you aligned? If you take an action towards your business and you want to build success, but you have fear and doubt, your feeling doesn't follow your attention. So maybe there's some work to do here in alignment between the subconscious and the conscious. If you have insight, vision, intuition, and you're not following your vision and intuition, are you aligned? No, maybe there's some work to do here in connecting to your vision, your insight, intuition. This is the importance of understanding the three levels of mind, because you may not have harmony. In the Huna tradition, there's a great book I have there in my library called The Heart of Huna. And this is such a powerful thing. I mean, this is really powerful what I'm about to share with you about the three levels of mind in the mastermind. It's all one, essentially. In the Huna tradition, they said that you want to seek harmony of the three levels of the self, working together in alignment. Let me say that again. They said seek alignment of the three levels of the self, working in harmony towards the highest and best good of all life. Seek alignment of the subconscious, conscious, and superconscious, working together in harmony for the highest and best good of all life. That was the core philosophy of the Kahuna teachings in Hawaii, is that they said you need to master the lower self. You need to master your feelings and emotions. You need to learn how to become aware of what your subconscious is telling you, and then channel that into the superconscious. You want to master the lower self and the higher self through conscious action. And so many times, we don't even know that there's a misalignment. We may not have harmony right now, but that's okay. Because all you need to do is start asking better questions. Who am I? Conscious. Why am I here? Subconscious. Where am I going? Superconscious. Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? And one of the most powerful ways you can start to develop harmony is to get out of your five senses. And when you're doing your inner work for your business, ask yourself, where do you want to be in 10 years? What's the ideal scene of your business? Inner sight, inner vision. And then work back 1 year from that and say, okay, where am I at now in my cash flow, team, training, transformation? And where do I want to be in a year? And so have a big picture vision. That vision of where you want to be in 10 years is super conscious. And having that vision also connects you to the mastermind. It was the vision I had working 2.5 years ago with my mentor, Roger Hamilton and Nolly Williams, that led me to this event, to Mastermind with 2,500 people in a room. What's your vision? What's your 10-year vision? And then the challenge with defining this vision here is that there's lots of bumps and obstacles along the way to making that vision a reality. But you can do it when you have harmony with these three selves. So get clear on your vision. And then make sure that you're meditating on a daily basis for 10 minutes a day. I provide all my teams audio meditations, meditation techniques of spiritual business mastery so that they can take more of their purpose, their presence, into the subconscious and superconscious. When the conscious mind becomes quiet, that's when we access more superconscious energy. When the conscious mind becomes quiet, that's when we also quiet our emotions and our feelings. You don't need to change your subconscious mind in the beginning. You just need to focus on awareness of vision and intuition and insight, and let your superconscious do the work. It's really better to go up and then down than try to go down and then up. A lot of people are as trapped in personal development circles trying to change their subconscious mind. And that works, but it doesn't get you to really where you want to go, because as you start to meditate, as you start to still and quiet the conscious mind, you start getting these insights. You start getting these little visions. These, like, you're in meditation one morning, you're like, call this person, and then you're like, no, I'm not going to call that person. But no, you get this. Your meditation, like, go make this email. Go send out this email blast, or go do this. You know, one of my mentors, Chris Duncan, he was talking about. He just launched his personal coaching business. He's making about $500,000 a month, and he was in meditation, connecting to your superconscious, and his superconscious showed him to post this video on YouTube. That video launched a movement, gave him the confidence subconsciously to go out there and be a leader in the superconscious revolution. Now his business is $20 million a month. He got that insight from meditation, from being in quietness every morning. We must get super silent. And you don't necessarily need more resources to become successful or to mastermind. What you need is to become more resourceful. Like, think about that. For those of you watching, if you're struggling with money, if you're struggling with not enough time, if you're struggling with not enough team, or whatever your struggle is, you don't need more resources. You need to get into flow, and flow comes before resources. Getting into flow and following your flow, getting still, building out the vision, building out the connection, the harmony. Resources follow flow. In the silence of your meditation practice, you will get intuition, which brings more of this energy of I am down into I think, I choose, I act. And so before we go into the power of the mastermind, build a mastermind with your superconscious first. Mastermind with it. When two or more are gathered in my name, there I am among you. You know, that's scripture, not religion. When two or more, Christ said, when two or more are gathered in my name, there I am among you. And there I am. Notice how many I am statements Jesus spoke in his ministry on the planet. Not religion, guys, states of consciousness. I am, I choose, I feel. When these three come into harmony, you can mastermind. You can mastermind with your superconscious mind. You can come into harmony with your vision every morning through meditation, visualization, and then you can start to create a mastermind outside of yourself. So let's talk about what the mastermind looks now that you have harmony, now that you know your vision, you're taking the right actions every day, and you're connecting your feelings, your passion, your purpose to those actions. Now that you have harmony, let's talk about how to build the mastermind. How can we build a mastermind around us that has some qualities that make it really, really powerful? So there's several blocks to forming the right mastermind with people around you. Now, flashback 100 years, when Napoleon Hill was learning from Andrew Carnegie, during those days, you know, as I studied all this from Napoleon Hill over a decade ago, he said that Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford and Harvey Firestone and Thomas Edison were all friends, titans of industry back in those days. And they would go on like fishing trips. These four titans of industry would actually mastermind together. When two or more are gathered in alignment with a definite purpose or chief aim, there is a third energy called a mastermind. And so what's so paradoxical about these four amazing successful men is that when they were masterminding, they didn't really have a purpose. They had a connection to their vision. They had a definite purpose and a chief aim. That every successful person has a definite purpose and chief aim. They each had that individually, but when they were masterminding, They were just having fun. They would go fishing for a week. They would take a week off and they would just go fishing and talk about life and business, but there was no definite purpose to the mastermind. You know, when we go to this event in Dallas with Tony Robbins, yeah, we're going to get some training. We're going to learn from Tony and from other top agents in the industry, but we're just there to have fun. That's the most important thing. Sometimes we take business and life way too seriously. And if you want to start becoming more successful in your business and life, go attend major events or major workshops that you enjoy, and that the intention is to have fun. When Harvey Firestone and Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford and Thomas Edison would go on these fishing trips, it wasn't about business. It's like, let's go have fun. And so if you find a group of men and women that you can mastermind with, don't go there because you have to. God, Artemis Prime said to go to, don't let compulsion lead you to these things. Go because it's for the joy of doing it. And for no other reason than joy, fellowship, connection, collaboration with people of like mind. That when you get in that energy of joy, connection, collaboration, that's the mastermind outside of you. So you need to have a clear vision inside of you first, because when you know who you want to be 10 years from now, big vision attracts big players. 12 years ago, guys, I didn't have any of these people in my life and I had no clear vision. I was drifting. But now that I've cultivated these qualities in myself and in my business, I have a clear vision of where I want to be in 1 year and 10 years. I have a clear business model that's getting me there. I have the mentors, the training around me that's going to support me to get there. And I know the importance of the mastermind. That's why I'm sharing this with you today, because the mastermind is so important. And sometimes it doesn't show up right away. So if you just need to read The Law of Success in 16 Lessons and get into some books and audios, because remember, leaders are readers. And you're being led by your superconscious. You're getting in alignment with the subconscious, conscious, and superconscious. And you're going to read books and listen to audios like The Law of Success in 16 Lessons or Ask and Is Given. So these are two great books. This is a little easier to read. It's only about 120 pages, and there's 22 practices in here to help you connect to your source, your superconscious, which is the same thing. Labels sometimes fall short for this stuff because mastermind, superconscious, conscious, it's all one. You're already whole. You already have what you desire. You already am what you desire to be. But we need to understand these things in terms of their labels, so that our conscious mind can start to integrate the principles and become super conscious. So these are two great books. Maybe you need to read some books. Maybe you need to get a mentor, a system, and a community. One of the things about mastermind groups is that they're connected to mentors. They're connected to people who have bigger visions than you are, and you currently do right now. And that's good. Sometimes we need to surround ourselves with a group of people and get outside of our comfort zone. If you've been drifting, if you've been stagnant for a while, attending a major event like this, attending a mastermind group every week, every month, 2 times a year, 4 times a year, that's going to break you free of drifting. It's going to break the dense subconscious patterns and get you into a superconscious action. Going back to the 3 levels of mind, the reason we want to go to mastermind events is because first we need to leave our comfort zone. And then, KT says that when we travel to other cities, it gets us into a new imagination activation. It builds character. When we travel every year, it starts to grow our vision. It starts to grow our spirit. It also connects us to flow states through the superconscious. Changing our environment creates flow. And so getting into these new cities and new mastermind groups creates that flow. That flow also connects us to the superconscious. And one of the ways of looking at these 3 levels of mind and why we attend mastermind groups is that your superconscious mind is like gas. It's like ether. It's very, very ethereal. It exists in a very malleable state. The superconscious is very easy to connect with once you cultivate enough silence, and it's like gas. The conscious mind is like water, and the subconscious mind is like ice. So you have gas, water, and ice. Which one do you want to move first? in the most easy and effortless way. It's the gas state. So it's like connecting to the vision, doing your insight, intuition, meditation every day. And then that starts to permeate the water and ice. And the subconscious mind doesn't like to change. It's stubborn. It's like a stubborn child. If you've got stinking thinking and limiting beliefs there, it takes a long time for the ice to melt, but you can move the gas very quickly. And so as you start to access superconscious and you get into a field of highly, highly charged, successful people who have visions, who have insight, who follow their intuition, that field starts to change very powerfully this denser level we call the subconscious. When whatever is going on in your life and business, when you leave your comfort zone and you go into that room of 100, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, it doesn't matter how many people are there. Remember, it's just 2 or more. But when you're in that room, there's a field structure, there's an energy. It permeates your subconscious and your conscious, and the ice melts instantaneously. Instead of taking years and decades for this ice to change, because it's dense, we can get into that super conscious mastermind energy, and we can move a block instantaneously. Like literally, we will leave this event changed. Now, the caveat is we need to have a system and a community. We need to be doing weekly masterminds, monthly masterminds in between these major events, because the major event is not the secret to success. It's a catalyst. The secret is our structures and the teams and training we build around us. But one of the benefits of you choosing to go to a major event is that when you enter that room, there is a energetic shift that happens in you that can change the trajectory of your life. And that's the beauty of going to major events. That's why you would sacrifice time and money to go to another city and invest time to be there, is because there is an energy in that room that's so powerful that it can open up your success and it can open up greater insight, connection, greater feeling, greater passion. And of course, in having one of the best coaches on the planet, Tony Robbins, there to help us do that, puts a structure and container in the event that's just going to be so, so powerful. So I wanted to share, because I wanted to share that concept of the energetic shift and momentum of being in a room with a mastermind energy, because it's that energy that's so effective, so powerful to help you grow. And so I hope you've all gotten some value from this today. I was up this morning reading The Law of Success and 15 Lessons by Napoleon Hill, and I was just reading page 8, and I was like, wow, 20 years. What would you dedicate 20 years of your life to? Yeah, that's a great question. That's connected to your vision, your insight, intuition. I believe Napoleon Hill made a call in his heart before he met Andrew Carnegie. I believe Napoleon Hill had a vision. He had insight. He had his intuition, but that's all he had. And he drew Andrew Carnegie into his life. And Andrew Carnegie was giving him the call that was already in his heart. I believe that's what happened when Napoleon Hill was in that room with Andrew Carnegie. And Carnegie said, I want to ask you to do this. And Carnegie didn't pay him over these 20 years to do this. He just gave him the money to travel and the letters of recommendation. That was it. He's like, you're going to do this on your own, of your own volition and your own subconscious, conscious alignment. And Napoleon Hill for 20 years traveled the world, interviewed 50 of the most successful people on the planet, and distilled down all of their success into 15 laws and the Law of Success in 15 Lessons. When he published the book in 1925, Henry Ford was very upset because Henry Ford had a little bit of scarcity consciousness, and he didn't want the world to know their secrets. So he took the Law of Success off the market. And then later on, Napoleon Hill published the book Think and Grow Rich, which was a very good book in and of itself, but it was not the whole recipe. The recipe is actually in this book, The Law of Success in 16 Lessons. And I read it at the time. I didn't have the money to buy the book 12 years ago, so I now have multiple copies of the book, and I can keep it in my library for rereading. But at the time, I was printing out the book on my printer, one lesson at a time, and highlighting it and reading it. It was a great, humbling experience. And I saw so many gaps in myself, and I just started launching and directing myself in a whole new way from learning what I learned in the Law of Success. And I did start to attract masterminds after that, which is really wonderful too. And just getting deeper into the knowing, and the understanding of these principles. Like Conscious mind is like knowledge. Subconscious is understanding. Superconscious is wisdom. So we need knowledge, understanding, and wisdom to succeed and be happy and fulfilled in our business. We need to have a harmony with our three selves, and then harmony, towards a definite purpose, and then take that definite purpose and that vision into our mastermind group. And one of the things that attracts a great human mastermind, a great group of men, is when there's that harmony with vision. When you know what your vision is, you start to have that harmony with the superconscious. And when the conscious and superconscious mind are connected to the vision, and you're investing time in building the vision each day, each month, each year, that vision, big vision, attracts big players. And you don't need a lot of resources, guys. Resources will come. Build the structures, build the foundation. The resources will come. Faith is believing in what you do not see, and the reward is seeing what you believe. So you got to have a little faith and a lot of vision to move forward. And you don't need resources. Sometimes you just need to become more resourceful. You need to resource yourself. Resource yourself by connecting to these qualities inside yourself. Mastermind with yourself, and then go connect to the mastermind outside of you. So thank you all for watching today. It's 10:38 Central Time. Been here about 38 minutes. I usually keep these kind of short, 30 minutes. Please like, comment below, share this with those entrepreneurs, agents, brokers, teams, those of you who need support in these areas. This is Artemis Prime, the Prime Power Hour. I come at you every Sunday. This was my inspiration because I'm leaving Monday to go be with an amazing group of ladies and gentlemen to build new paradigms in real estate and business. And I look forward to seeing you guys next Sunday at the same time, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Artemis Prime here. I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.